Since the solo leveling anime returned recently, I'm sure there are a ton of new players to the game. So today I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to know about how to level up quickly and efficiently. And I'm going to give you guys all the tips related to that. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe because about 80% of viewers aren't subscribed and they are missing out. Also, if you're not already supporting through the content creator program down below, make sure you go to the description, click that link and click support because I'll be able to give you constant rewards. Excuse me. This is always changing, but right now I've got 1900 codes for 30 traces, mana power elixirs, gold, 500,000 gold. We also get things like essence stones, 1,000. I haven't got that yet. That one kind of expired, but I'll be getting another one probably soon. You're not going to want to miss it. All you have to do is support down below in the description, and how it works is to get shot directly into your gift box. Unfortunately, it doesn't say from DFree or anything like that, but it'll just show up there once I go in and push the button to send it to everyone that supports me, which typically takes me about a day. So make sure you support in the description. All right. So it's been a while since I made one of these videos, admittedly, and it hasn't changed a ton. The level progression is still mostly the same in the game, but they keep raising the level cap for Sung Jin-woo once every few weeks, and he's now at level 100 as a maximum. And it feels like every time I get to the new max, they kind of up it again. By the way, this is an anime Sung Jin-woo. Ignore it. He has nothing on. It's just, I was doing something funny. Anyway, so yeah, they keep on raising it. So this will be relevant for pretty much forever. So typically, here's what you do with leveling. So I personally like to keep some story stages in the bank for whenever it's time to level up, whether that's side chapters or hard mode chapters, because here's how things look. I mean, this stage will give me nearly 69,000 experience right here just for completing this. So regardless of where I'm at, story is the first and primary way that you're going to get a decent amount of experience, because as long as there are stages to play, there is no cap. Like, for example, gates are another way, but you can only run so many gates in a day, right? Unless you want to keep refreshing it, I guess. Can you run like 1 billion gates in a day? Are people doing that? I don't know. Anyway, realistically, you're not going to run that many gates in a day. So I want to kind of approach this video from a new player perspective, but again, there will be some stuff in here for people that are people that have been playing for a while that you may or may not have known. So when you first start playing the game, you'll get to about chapter 5 or 6 in that area. I think it was the Kang Taeshik one, where the game will finally stop you. Things will be going smooth, and it'll finally stop you and say, hey, you can't play this next stage until you hit like level 30, I think it was. I haven't done this in like nearly 9 months. So it's probably been over 9 months, to be honest. So at that point, you probably have hard mode unlocked. Ignore reverse because I don't believe reverse gives any experience. And anyway, at that point, you probably have hard mode unlocked, in which case you're going to want to come to hard mode and play these stages. And there's also this benefit here. If this was here when I was playing, I would have did everything as it kind of came out. This is a relatively new mechanic where as you get these trophies from completing these chapters, you get a bunch of extra rewards on top of it. So you absolutely need to make sure you're doing all these chapters, and you want to make sure you're completing them with full 3 trophies on your first pass, so you don't have to go back and do them again. There's a benefit to that too, because you will get the custom draw tickets, which you want. But regardless, side chapters as well, if you happen to skip them along the way, make sure you complete them because they do also give experience. So when you hit that initial roadblock, your goal is to kind of just bounce back and forth between normal and hard mode, because you will start hitting those roadblocks every few chapters after that King one. It's not going to be a one-time thing. So that's how the game kind of starts looking for you in the early phases. Now, you're pretty much not getting experience from like anything else on the screen. I'm not lying to you. Pretty much, I don't think anything else here actually gives experience except for gates, which we're going to talk about in a second. Like, I'm going to go into this. I'm pretty positive nothing. Yeah, nothing gives experience anymore, which is maybe a bit, it's intentional, but maybe, you know, a little bit overdone. They could give you a few hundred or something, right? The thing is, when you max out experience, you start getting that experience points. They go into reputation level, which has its own set of rewards. That's probably why they're a little bit more, you know, hard about it. I never touch Hunter Archive, so I don't think there's anything here for experience. I'm not going to do that. I don't think so. If anybody knows, please let me know, but I doubt it because it's not Sung Jin-woo based. So here's how things are otherwise though. Gates. There was a few other big things I'll talk about in a minute, but gates have been reworked to be much easier to play. Quick tip on this, I typically try to just play the special gates. The blue ones are good. You can kind of see what you're getting, right? The blue ones are going to have these enhancement materials. You're going to need those. You're going to need to, at some point, kind of play all the different types of gates, but I typically like to try to play red gates when they pop up because you have the chance to get those rune fragments. So I'll typically just rescan until I get red gates, and I'm able to sim all these or skip all these. You're not going to be able to do this unless you've bought the extra pass thing, I don't believe. So there's that. But as you see, it drops 34,000, and this is much easier now because you need to do, like, you used to need to do, I think, all 10 keys to even get these, which made the next page where it's gold almost unobtainable for free players. So anyway, you're gonna get like 100,000, whatever this is, like over 100,000, whatever the number is, just by completing this. So that's massive. If this number is the same, by the way, for like a new player, this is fat. Like, I don't know if it's these exact same numbers or if that's because I'm a higher level. I haven't started a new account again in over 9 months, but regardless, completing gates is massive. You're gonna want to make sure that you do that. And the preference on gates is totally up to you at the end of the day. What you want to play, what you have the wherewithal to play, but also what materials you need, right? So those are the only two pieces of content, story and gates, that are truly going to drop experience for you. But there are a couple other little things that you can do. So let's go over to guilds. And so my guild is not the most competitive, crazy guild or anything like that. But if you're interested in joining and you are a long-time player, I'm not looking for any new players, unfortunately. Ideally, battle rank 35 or higher, probably, I think is probably a good cutoff. You can just search us up and apply. And, you know, when we have a spot, we'll consider you and go from there. So anyway, one thing you can do, and this is kind of a minor thing, but you can come over here once you're in a guild and you have materials to exchange. You can actually do this and exchange for this one. So putting in the time, that'll give you extra experience that's tied into the activity funds, which is a good segue to talk about activity funds, because along the way, you know, I was just talking about how you hit the point where you're grinding, you know, hard content, side chapters, and easy content or normal story, and back and forth. It kind of turns into what you're doing. That only works for so long. Admittedly, I'm assuming that the game is exactly as it was for me, as it is for me, or was for me, assuming it's the same way. Admittedly, you hit a point where, like, for like a couple days, you kind of just got to rely on this and gates. Like when your gates refresh the next day, which is in like 30 minutes, and you get your big drops back, right? Because that's a once a day thing. And there's nothing here right now because I disclaimed it, unfortunately, but I had 17,000 experience accumulated here. That's not like a crazy amount because I don't need it, but for a new player, that would be a fat amount. Also, if you buy this activity fund extra bonus, you get 30% more. So the 3 is not crazy, but you know, this is tied into the gate. So this is all one thing. For the record, if there's anything you wanted to buy in this game, just for the record, I'm not telling you to buy anything, but if you do decide to buy anything, I think the monthly things that they have 3 monthly passes, unfortunately, I think those are all great value and they're the best things to buy in this game, period. So that being said, because I've had these, but I've also made it months without actually buying currency in this game, tickets, because the game's super free to play friendly, actually. Like I've made it months and gotten all the new characters with several dupes and like all that stuff. My account's super stacked, but if you watched a video that I did, I had accumulated tickets for like 2 months and threw them, and I got crazy luck in that video, so it made my account look like I spent more on it than I have. Anyway, this is massive. It does hit a point where you start relying on activity funds, so you can't let this elapse. They increased the cap because it used to be 24, I believe, but they give you 2 days. So that's actually pretty good. So you don't have to check it every day. But I would recommend logging in every day to do your gates, because the gates are incredibly important. As you saw, there was 100,000 experience there. You're not going to want if you miss that, that's going to set you back a decent bit. It's not the craziest, you know, end of the world or anything like that, but it will set you back a little bit, because ultimately when you're working on progressing your levels, you are going to start unlocking obviously the rest of the content in terms of story mode, but you're going to unlock all this other side stuff that's going to be relevant to your progression in the game. You're going to get more materials. You're going to unlock cores. You're going to unlock gems. You're going to unlock more ways to earn rewards. For example, Power of Destruction. They've made this much easier to complete. You're gonna get a bunch of rewards when you can hit these damage marks. I mean, you get all this stuff accumulated down here. Well, I don't want to say accumulated because that'd be a crazy amount, but you get, you know, when you hit 1,000,000 damage, which is not hard to do with 2 attacks, I believe you can use both attacks to hit that number. Anyway, you start getting a lot of good rewards. Like you start getting things. You're going to want to make sure that you're completing as much as you can. You can unlock other pieces of content like Simulation Gate if you like that. More events will be available to you, etc. I don't know if they have any other like new player specific perks that are on right now. But look at him staring at us from the other side of the glass. Oh my God, that's scary. I didn't even plan that. Anyway, that's freaking me out, bro. Anyways, that's mostly everything as it relates to leveling up and solo leveling Arise. And you know, it's important also that you level because your hunters are tied to Janu's level, so like they can't surpass him, and Janu's level is the actual account level, so all your characters are tied to whatever your actual account level is. So that is important. If you're a new player starting now, you don't have to worry about hitting the level cap. I hit the level cap once every few weeks because I keep raising it every few weeks now. Ignore this Janu. He's got nothing on him. I was doing something funny. But you know, that's mostly how it is. So that's everything, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure that thumbs up and subscribe. Remember, support. I would appreciate it if you guys did that if you're not supporting another creator already, and it would help you as well because you're going to be getting ahead of the curve and ahead of the game with those extra rewards.